So the board has been very busy the past few weeks since our last meeting on October 8th. We have been participating in district-wide events as well as regional and statewide meetings. I'm going to try to go in chronological order by date, but if I'm out of order, just please excuse me and you guys will correct me. So this is going to sort of kind of be the president's report slash committee updates kind of together because it's a lot of it going, but I'm going to just read all of the things that we've been participating in. Okay, so Dr. Ackerman and I were able to attend the CPTA Executive Cabinet meeting. That's with the Chappaqua PTA. That was October 9th. Then I had on October 10th the risk assessment interview by our auditors. Then we had an opportunity to attend, I had an opportunity to attend the WPSBA's Money Talks and Ed Law lunch. And then we had the Communications Committee meeting. We had a work session with Diligent and Board Docs to just go into a little bit more about possibly switching over to that platform. Then we had the principal coffee at Greeley. It was the first time for me to be part of the NYSBA's annual meeting as a voting delegate, which ran 5 hours and 45 minutes. Yes, I'd like to highlight that. On all of the different resolutions that New York State was advocating for. Then we also had Superintendent's Conference Day. I'm at October 20th now. And we had author of Emotional Fitness, Sean Zetlin, come and give a PD on health and PE teachers. Then we had a CPTA annual meeting with the mindfulness portion to that. We had a Diwali event. We had the New York State Board Convention. What else? We are now at October 24th. We had Tri-States visit. We had the Wellness Committee meeting, Health and Safety meeting. I was attending the WPSBA's advocacy meeting. There was a Cum Laude Society ceremony yesterday, which brings us to tonight, to the Board of Education meeting. So we've been very busy. And we'll go back to having different board members sort of report out on the different committees. And that's really just really the bulk of my president's report. And I would just like to acknowledge all the teachers, faculty, and staff and administration for allowing us to participate in all of those events and just giving us learning opportunities and be able to be in part of conversations. A lot of the administration were obviously a part of that. And so I just want to say thank you that it's a lot and it was busy a few weeks, but it's always nice to be able to be part of conversations and have a seat at the table. So thank you.
And so we have a few items on the agenda we'd like to highlight tonight, and we'd also like to provide some updates on some of upcoming opportunities for parents to come into the schools. But first, before we talk about parent-teacher conferences and other things that have been happening in the district, really important, we're in a position where we are going to be recommending an interim director of special education as a result of Karen Smith's pending retirement. So I'm going to turn it over to Andrew.
Sure, thank you. So I'm pleased to recommend on behalf of the Superintendent, Sarah Kenny, to the position for your consideration of Interim Director of Special Education and 504 Services. She's here this evening in the audience, and she has been here for 19 years at Bell Middle School as a special education teacher and now as Special Education Department Chair. She's also, for almost that entire time here in the district, has worked in our ESY program, our extended school year program, and has served as a lead teacher and coordinator of the ESY program. And through that has really gotten to know families and students who participate in ESY from grade K through 12. And through that has worked directly with the Director of Special Education to recruit and secure teachers for the program, create the schedule, manage day-to-day operations, and really lead it. She's bringing expertise in the construction of IEPs, inclusive learning, teacher leadership, compliance with regulations that govern special education. And in the hiring process, the committee was really impressed with her knowledge of special education, her deep knowledge of the Chappaqua Central School District, students, families, our processes, and our systems, and her real clear and decisive leadership style, passion for the work, and ability to build relationships and sustain them with families over a long period of time. She's a systems thinker who really looks to improve the systems within which she works, detail-oriented, real task-oriented leader and professional, and leads with empathy. So we're really happy to present her recommendation to you this evening.
Andrew. Thank you, Dr. Ackerman and Dr. Halokre, as well as the board. I am truly honored and grateful to continue serving the district. I look forward to working with students and their families and everybody to ensure that each child in this district feels supported, valued, and seen, and that I will continue to be a team member in making sure that each child reaches their full potential. So thank you very much. I'm very excited.
Thank you, Sarah. Okay, and so now I'd like Adam just to talk about Superintendent Conference Day, briefly about our Tri-States visit, and I know we have a grant on the agenda, and we also have an update on parent-teacher conferences.
Great, thank you. So October 20th, as you know, is a Superintendent Conference Day. We went with the theme of technology for good. I had shared previously with the Board of Education review of the day. We started the day with all of our faculty and staff coming here to Greeley. We did a framing session where we reviewed our district's AI handbook, which is on the website if anybody would like to see it. And we engaged in other activities about how technology is typically integrated into the educational setting, and kind of trials, tribulations, and challenges around that. We went from there to a keynote with Brett Rower. He's an AI integration specialist when it comes to education. We had that for all of our staff. And then we had breakout choice sessions. We had 3 blocks of choice sessions. One of them was lunch and the benefits fair, thanks to the folks at the CCT for organizing that for us, which was really nice. And faculty also got to choose between 2 sessions. And I pulled up a couple of names. The sessions were so amazing. They're offered mainly by our staff. There's a few outside experts like Sean Zetlin that came in, but most of them are offered by our staff. And I just pulled a couple of the names just to give you an idea of what the choice sessions included. One of them, for an example, was creating augmented reality experiences with Merge Cube for middle school social studies teachers. One of them was critical thinking by design, practical AI strategies you can use to level up tomorrow's lesson. Data that drives growth, building your own response to data tracker. Those are some examples. This one was really cute. Tiny Tech Explorers, Apptastic Beginnings to Building Early Skills with iPads for kindergarten and first grade teachers. So those are all offered by our educators, for educators. They're really well received. I do, at the end of each Superintendent Conference Day, we send out a survey to our staff so they can give us feedback on the structure of the day, the organization of the day, what was powerful for them, what they learned, and any adjustments that they'd like to see us make moving forward. And you can see here, this was some data from the choice sessions, the breakout sessions, and you can see how well received all of those experiences were. So we're really proud of that day. It's put together by just a tremendous team of administrators, professional developers, faculty, all kind of sharing their best practices across the board, and certainly we bring in some outside experts. So that was a strong day on October 20th. We try to make the most of those days, as we know we are missing instructional time in order to do that. So try to maximize our learning. Should I transition right on, go right on to Tri-States? So we had our Tri-States visit that same week, last week on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. For those of you that aren't familiar with Tri-States is a tri-state consortium of generally high-performing school districts that help each other in a critical friends kind of setting where school districts will send representatives depending on the topic being examined in the school district. They'll send representatives from other districts that have some expertise in that area. So our focus was elementary literacy. K through fourth, and we had a team of 20 experts from outside of the district. These are teachers and building administrators, principals, directors of literacy, assistant superintendents, even superintendents come and they visit our district. They do focus groups with students and staff members, and in this case, we opened all of our classrooms K through 4 so they could examine our literacy practices. I had shared previously the questions, but they were basically, to what extent does what you see in the classroom when it comes to literacy instruction align with the science of reading research based on the briefs that New York State Education Department has published, and to what extent is what you're seeing aligned to our district's philosophy of literacy, which we've also published. That's on our website. And they gave us, the star of, there was a high degree of alignment, which was really nice to hear. It was kind of confirming what we had suspected, but they also gave us some things to think about. We'll get a report in about a month from them, a formal report. We'll share that with the board and we'll post it up on the website as well. We'll have our literacy fellows go through that report and kind of analyze what our next steps would be. But I did put a few up there with regard to things that they had reported out as part of the fishbowl experience that they do at the end. We had several board members in attendance for that. Thank you for joining us. And they gave us some suggestions around clarifying programmatic expectations, clarifying time expectations. By that, I mean how much time teachers were asking for some more granular guidance on how much time they should be spending with the different components of literacy instruction. How much should we be spending on the grammar portion, the phonics portion, the workshop portion? So we can provide those things. We'll work with teachers to develop some best practices around that. And then they also talked about additional opportunities for professional learning, for collaboration across buildings, things like that. So we'll give you more details as that report comes in. All right, on the agenda, you'll also see 5.2. You'll see an Instagram. I had mentioned this at our last meeting. Jenny Giris had written this grant. It's just over $1,000. This is from our friends from the Chappaqua School Foundation, CSF, and this will fund lavalier microphones. We have students doing a lot of video in our STEAM centers, and the STEAM centers can be a little bit loud when all the students are creating videos in different pockets of the STEAM center. So the audio has not been great. And what we found at at Bell, we had a similar grant, and we found that these lavalier mics really helped with the quality of the audio and videos that the students were able to produce. So you'll find that on your agenda is 5.2, and thanks to the CSF for that one.
So I'll talk about parent conferences. Okay. So we just wanted to provide an update on where we are with parent conferences. So this was the first time that we've used an application to help register our families at the secondary level. So I was a little nervous about it. Okay. But it actually worked out perfectly. So I want to thank Adam Schoenbart, who spearheaded this process for us, because I was thinking about Ticketmaster and things crashing, but none of that happened. And so when we opened the portal up, everyone was able to get on and easily register for any conferences that they wanted to engage in with their teachers. And no one is full at the secondary level, which means if you wanted to see your child's teacher, you're absolutely able to do it. We close tomorrow at 8 a.m. We sent out a message to our families tomorrow, and Thursday morning at 8. And the reason is because our teachers need to prepare. They want to make sure they're ready. So we sent a text message out today reminding everyone that we close tomorrow at 8 o'clock. We're all doing parent conferences on the evening night. So if you want to sign up for us, all you have to do is call your building office and they will put you in our schedules. Us. Over here, all of us. The whole central office is doing parent teacher conferences. Yeah. We're available, accessible. Okay. And so, I think this is a really great opportunity for us to connect with their families. We'll get feedback from our teachers and our parents after our conferences conclude next week, so we can then talk about what should the spring look like. But I'm just really happy that one of my biggest concerns is that parents would want to see their teachers and their schedules would be full. And so I'm really pleased that did not happen. So I feel like it's accomplishing the goals that the board set out for us last year to be able to do this in a way that made sense for the district. So, and we called any parents that we felt at the secondary level, we really felt like we wanted to see. So that outreach happened as well. So I think we're in a good spot for next week. And so I'm excited to update you on how they went and hear from your own experiences. Okay. Yeah, you better sign up tonight. Okay.
I signed up and I also was nervous that it was going to crash and not work, but I can attest to getting in, doing it, changing some around when I changed my mind and it worked good.
Good work, Adam. Okay. All right. And so now we have a pretty big resolution on the agenda tonight. So Josh, would you like to talk about?
So we have
our
our
BOCES
yearly contract with Putnam Northern Westchester BOCES on the agenda. So in it, there are three components. The first is the 25-26 services that we elect as a school district to purchase through BOCES, including special ed technology, HR services management, career and tech ed, curriculum guidance and mental health, safety and compliance. That doesn't encompass all the services we do with any BOCES. It's just the direct Putnam Northern Westchester BOCES services that are in there. The next line is the administrative charges. Those charges include the administrative charges on the services that we purchase through them, as well as our required administrative charges that are through the formula for each component district that we pay for. And I think, as we know, our BOCES uses a wealth ratio to determine the rates that each district pays for that. So I just want to make sure that that's stated and clear that that is part of it. And then the other piece of it is the capital and facility rental. So that's essentially just like we have a debt service and capital line, BOCES has one that they divide across each component school district that we pay for as part of it. So when we've voted in the past on their capital projects as part of the budget or not, but the component district has voted for those capital projects, that's that component of it. So the total is there for our contract of services. And then within that, we receive anywhere between 10 and 36% state aid on those services, depending what service is provided through us. This contract also permits the school district to sign up for new services throughout the school year, such as our arts and ed program is in there. If there is some facility service that they have on a COSER, we are then receive permission to utilize those services that BOCES provides.
Josh. And then we just have a lot of events coming up. We have, again, we have our conferences next week. We have our 11th grade parent meeting. We have our spelling bee. Hopefully teams are registering. And we have our 5th grade social coming up. So that is the end of the superintendent's report. Thank you.